elevating the first enchanter to the throne of the divine was a bold decision.
That I didn't make.
While unrest, Lady Vivienne will hold more power than any mage in southern Thedas. May I pass on an observation?
Please do.
I realize you and Madame Vivienne have become friendly, Inquisitor. But I wonder how she'll reshape the Chantry. You may recall her views are somewhat conservative on these matters.
Yeah, I didn't elect her. Jesus Christ, game. Don't rub it in my face. You have decided to make her the friggin' divine. No, I didn't. Oh, but you did. By choices you made that are totally unrelated to that. God damn it! Old Raciel, Evo. Hi. All right. Descent. Let's do it. Let's do it. More than meets the eye. Saying hi to TSB to make sure that he doesn't kill me in the face. Alright. Who knows? Maybe we can finally... wait, what? Right. Well, anyways. And I meant every word, Evo. So check out the updated score, Evo. Something of the negatives that we know with certainty are frostbite negatives. 20. I think it's 24.
Inquisitor, the workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
From your tone, I guess Orzammar isn't your favorite place.
I don't have an opinion. Cloud gazers like me aren't allowed in the city. The lift's ready for you.
This is the 16th VOD, Anguished One. Which...
Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
We haven't actually surpassed Origins yet.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King? Really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
So, the deep roads. Do you think there'll be tight spaces? Long hallways with low ceilings?
Possibly. Why?
Just hoping my horns fit.
Is it me, or is this the slowest lift ever constructed?
It's better than climbing down.
I could do with some music. Something with a flute.
Yeah, like I've been joking about all day. Worst timeline. We have created the cursed timeline here. If Dragon Age 4 ever comes out, I'm going to have to decide what carries forward in the keep.
Magar, Navrik, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaper it welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
Real quick, thank you, King Venom Mui. Always appreciate you. Thank you. Your support lets me keep trying. If you know what you want to put that towards, remember, up to 3 things. Let me know. Please and thank you.
What does a Shaper do, exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
How many dwarves have you lost?
More than we can count. The mining caste has suffered greatly. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause, and celebrate their own funerals before entering the deep roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
Dragon's Dogma 1, Dragon's Dogma 2, and Dead Space R. You got it, King Venom Yui. Thank you. And congrats, Pillars, it's now about friggin' time.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
Yep, the rocks are back, everybody.
Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
Yes, the rocks hunger. Oh boy.
An ogre!
Time.
hate the deep roads.
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
How much health does this thing have? Jesus. Well, this might be it. We might finally be ready to cheat. Look at this. We aren't even scratching the paint on this guy.
Strike now!
Yeah, I noticed my damage is way down. Look at that. That's my big hit, 900. And each of these is only hitting for about 100.
Focused on us. Now's the time to attack!
Actually, my super big attack is only doing 2,000. Yep, okay. Okay, cool. Well, we give up. Game's over. I can beat him. He wasn't touching me. Like, he wasn't touching my HP. But that's gonna take way too goddamn long. So... cheat time. Let's just get on with it. Wait, did Someone... Oh, God, someone killed the bot. No! Someone killed the bot. Who could do this to such an innocent bot? Who could do such a thing? Flag Hand, you couldn't. You were at my daughter's wedding. Okay, hang on. It's actually really irritates me. We got all the way here and we finally put up the cheat flag. Whatever. Okay, so I mean, I'm willing to give another negative for health padding. Yes, another negative. The game already has a health padding problem. Who's with me? For real, I'm actually curious of real opinions here. I've never played The Descent. And yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Let's put this under difficulty curve. That's a good way to phrase that. Because I can think of other games, which we haven't covered yet, which will get that exact same negative, where you're like, da-da-da-da-da, okay, do the optional thing, boing, right? You know what I'm talking about. Time to go to this thing, boing! Alright, yes, more negatives. More power. Yeah, that's another thing. I have done every freaking thing up to this point. I have maxed out power. I have pseudo-maxed out my gear. Like, I have tier 3 stuff. That's probably why the enemy wasn't hurting me at all. So Lord Harriman says, I love the difficulty. Alright, so I obviously don't agree. But the reason I want to explain this is because I'm not... No, you know what? I don't even feel like making my point. We're good. Negative to gameplay. Moving on. Yeah, Golems of Omgarok. We actually gave the same negative to that, so we have precedence on this. You don't think it's a numbers game? Citation needed? I'm being dead serious here. What about what we just saw was not a numbers game? I'm being completely serious. Just barely touching his health with my strongest attacks. Which are... And in full tier 3 gear. While being level 25. And his health is just going... Bloop. Bloop. One guy, too. And this is important. He wasn't touching me. So it's not just the fact that he would take forever to die. It's also the fact that there was nothing to do other than just try to maximize my DPS. Because he couldn't touch me. So obviously I'm geared. Now, I know what you mean about the machine gun guys. Because a friend of mine played through this DLC and quit it because of the machine gun guys. He was like, nope, I'm out. What would be required to become fully geared? I mean, we already know that the health values don't change on difficulty, which may be part of the problem we're getting. I honestly think this game does not have a good easy difficulty, unlike Dragon Age 2, which did. I think we already have that on Dorian and Iron Ball, the Iron Ball. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go see if I can craft tier 4 stuff now. If I can't, then we're gonna cheat. I am not spending another 90 minutes of my freaking life running around trying to make crafting gear happen. Hey, Ross. I do have some money, and I was looting all the way up until we stopped doing optional content, so we'll see what we got. Oh yeah, I also turned off the run mod because I have a feeling that's not going to be a good thing underground. If you're wondering why we're going so slowly. God, I forgot how slow this is. Alright. So, weapons, obviously, because my armor's fine. But weapons. So, we can make Hakon's Wisdom. Looks like Staff of Corruption is still my better option there, though. Yeah, okay, so Staff of Corruption is what I actually already have. That's way too vague of a question, I'm afraid. Okay, so this is all just damage. All kinds of damage. Well, we've got plenty of Dragon Bones, because we've killed every dragon in the game. So yeah, we'll do Dragon Bones there. Okay, flanking, heal on kill, barrier damage, heal on kill, crit damage bonus, barrier damage bonus, attack percent, heal on kill, attack percent, barrier damage bonus. Looks like that's it. So, I'm hearing flat attack. The guide I was using said flat attack, which is what I have on my existing weapon. So that's going to be flat attack is high everweave, which I do not have. That's tier 2. That can't be right. Hang on. Surely I have a better attack. There we go. That's better. That's a tier 3 attack. Tier 3. Do I have any tier 4? I do. That's the wrong thing. So we're going to go with the tier 3. There you go. I got plenty of that. Okay, so 30. So straight attack. Armor pen. Stagger. Sunder. We have armor pen or sunder. We have to pick. Yeah, I got tons of Dragon Bone. Dragon Bone does give me sunder on hit. And hang on, do I have any tier 4? Nope, that's just straight attack. Attack is neat, but I was told I need Sunder and Armor Pen. If I need attack, I have attack. Like, my existing weapon has plus attack stacked to hell and back. Because that's what the guide told me to do. Okay, so Sunder. Got it. So, Sunder was Dragon Bone, I think? Yep. And then, what do we got? Flanking, crit chance, crit damage, flanking, Sunder. Another Sunder hit? That's a tier 1, though. I really wish I could sort these. That's crit chance. That's flanking bonus. That's crit damage bonus. That's Sunder on hit. We could add more Sunder on hit with hardened Gurgut skin. If we want to keep stacking Sunder, that's probably our best bet right now. Yeah. Thoughts? Okay. And of course I want... I guess I don't really care what I get down here. Where's... I had a few of these. A lot of this crap. Look at all this crap. Oh, there we go. On hit, gain guard. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. Let's see if this works any better. Yeah, we'll just see the difference live and figures it out. Yeah, I agree. I also think it's not going to be enough, but and then we'll hit the cheats, but I would at least rather try first, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, the Spectral Blade at a full 99 stack was just doing nothing. No, yeah, that's the goal. Some people think I don't earn my negatives in game reviews. Those people are wrong. Oh god, it's so weird to be moving this slowly. Ah!
An ogre!
I hate the deep roads.
So first and foremost, that was less damage. Yeah, right. We gotta get our Sunders. I sure wish there was some kind of debuff indicator to show that the Sunder's actually there. Game. Is he sundered? He is 6 stacks of sundered. How high does that go?
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
He's up to 16 stacks. He's gonna keep doing that for a minute.
Now, while it's distracted!
Okay. We're up to 700 on our big hit. And we're back down to 6 stacks asunder. We are killing it faster? Even though we're doing less damage, probably because Sunder helps everybody. Well, let's stick with it for now. We'll stick with it for now. I always have the cheats there that I can pull the trigger on if I really need to.
Strike now!
At this point, I'm just a Vuln bot. I'm doing no damage to this thing.
It's not focused on us! Now's the time to attack!
Yeah, the problem here isn't just the health, although I do absolutely think that's a problem. But as you say, there's nothing dangerous here.
While it's distracted!
Not really. I mean, barrier bosses are a real thing. WoW uses barrier bosses even to this very day.
Now, while it's distracted!
Sometimes called gear checks.
have my gratitude.
If I lost you, I'd never make it out of the deep roads.
I'm sure you would find a way. If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry.
Yeah, we'll probably have to start looting again. Yeah, we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do.
I will never get used to the stench of Darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air. That's the broken seal ahead.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Okay, Dorian, what do you have right now? The one good Teventer. Oh, he's fine. Look at that. Look at that. He's got crit, apparently, is what I gave him. What did I give myself? The Lich King is attack, crit, and heal on kill. Because I had no idea what I was doing. I was following a guide. What do you want from me? He's fine.
It's worse than I thought.
I was just going by the guide, Colgrim. Don't look at me.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
Oh, now we're here.
We can't lose this position! Hurry!
Not everything's level 25.
With those bastards breathing down our necks!
For a bit of perspective, we have done all the optional content and are only level 25. God, these things have health. I was gonna say, these are the Dragon Age 2 designs, which I actually like, so call me the weirdo here. I think it is sufficient to not be more of a negative, Colger. I was actually, I meant to say something about that out loud, and then we got talking about, romance. But I decided to bring that down from a triple negative to a single. I still think it's a mistake. I still don't think they did their job properly, but at least they didn't do their job as bad as I thought they did. Yeah, I've never played this DLC. Yep, you missed the, oh, right. You missed all the romance. Oh yeah, we still have the jump mod, because of course we do. I have not, Eternus. Xbox. I've never had an Xbox. Not that I'm aware of on Falkenstein.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
Now, apparently, I need to get you a box. Because if you get inside the box, then this is where you're meant to be.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thetis to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
Okay, so in case you didn't get the joke I just said, that's David Hayter.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
We can't give the Darkspawn a chance to regroup. Let's hit them again before they mount another attack.
Normally, that would be the plan. But there is a complication.
Take cover!
Well, the writers clearly didn't, Evo. And if you ask them, they'll just say, no, I deliberately didn't design it. And then you're stuck.
Yes. The rhythm in the tremors. It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
So someone has a quake machine, huh?
If something is causing them, the strength required would be incredible. What could do that?
Here we go.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity, but now... The text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
Mysterious songs often lure people to their deaths, or to an archdemon.
This rhythm isn't a song, exactly. It sounds like air flowing through lungs.
Air that can collapse a whole mine.
Dangerous, then. But a magic unique to the deep roads might be worth investigating.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
That sounds a lot like worship to me.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense, and Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, That text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
Use the expedition table to do unique operations. Sure. Oh, there's one. Let's send Cullen down there. Yep, there's Cullen. Definitely Cullen. Yeah. Oh, that was worthwhile. Thank you, Lucas Slaughter. Very, very much. I do always appreciate that support. Thank you so much. If you give me a moment, I'll write that down. Let's see. That's going towards the trails in the sky block. Trails of Crossbell, Duology. And trails of Cold Steel block. I'm feeling a trend here. I don't know. It's a vibe I'm getting. Right. Not really, no, Mr. Red. Yeah, I saw there was Tier 4 stuff there.
Oh, you can clean it, right?
We don't really have a new pattern yet, so we'll wait to see if we get a new pattern at some point. Worthy of Mordor.
I hope we don't run into an emissary.
Oh. Now we definitely will.
I take it emissaries are bad?
Most Darkspawn are mindless killing machines, connected by the Blight. But emissaries are intelligent and use magic. Shrieks. It had to be shrieks.
I thought you'd be used to all kinds of darkspawn.
Well, everyone's got their favorites.
I'm partial to ogres. Great racks.
I mean... Well, the reason Darkspawn can use magic is because... Because why not?
Take that, you filth!
I mean, real talk. Why Darkspawn can use the Fade boils down to a couple of questions. Like, what is... or can use magic. Oh my god, tired. The reason Darkspawn can use magic boils down to a few questions. What is the taint? Where does it come from and how does it operate? Why does it corrupt organic matter and not inorganic matter? How does it connect the Darkspawn to the Fade? Does it connect them to the Fade or the Veil? Is it have anything to do with what the Veil actually is? Does it have anything to do with what is actually in the Fade? Are these secretly demons and spirits given fleshy form? You know, there's all sorts of questions we have absolutely no idea on, because all those things won't even be posited until the last DLC of the last Dragon Age game. And even then, who the hell knows?
This belonged to an exiled dwarf who was experimenting with raw lyrium.
Well, that sounds like fun. That is assuming Corypheus is telling the truth, which it's worth noting, do assume. As I've said before, I have no reason to consider that he's lying. At least not about that.
This door, there's something strange about it. Looks like our construction, but...
It's missing gears.
we have to find them. It's our only way through.
Yes, I know, Evo. You hate me horribly. I understand. Eh! Lol, Mr. Red.
This gear is warm to the touch. Strange.
I don't recognize that metal. But we should only need one more. We have enough of these odd gears. Let's head back to the door. It's open. Keep any gears we find. We may need more. And if we don't, I want to study them. Whatever they're made of wasn't mine down here.
Yeah, that's another thing. Why was the taint in the Black City? Also, what is the Black City? Although, I actually have a pretty good idea what the Black City is. But that doesn't explain the taint thing. I would say the Black City was never golden. I can't imagine any reality in which it ever was. Metaphorically. Let me rewalk that.
The rhythm in the tremors. It echoes through the stone. This way.
I mean, I could believe that once upon a time, the city that became the Black City was filled with gold. But I wouldn't call it golden.
Another strange door. Who put these here? And why?
Well, see, it's funny you say that.
Uses a different kind of gear from the others.
We don't have to open it. My stone sense leads the other way. Though I am curious to see the other side.
You always are.
So I've never assumed that golden was literal, as stupid as that probably sounds. I've always assumed it was metaphorical. The Golden City. You know, palatial, heavenly, blah, 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 blah. Hence why I say it was never golden. And then I had to catch myself because I'm pretty sure the Aventuri... Excuse me. I mean, the I don't know who they are probably would be the kind of people to make their city out of literal gold. die. Oh, whatever they're called. The ancient evil jackasses. Who deserve to die. Those guys. I guess that doesn't narrow it down a bunch. Whatever. Ugh. City Made of Chocolate? I've seen that movie. I've said it before and I said it again. I don't think the Maker exists on any real level. And furthermore, the more I think about it, the more I think that there was never even an entity that was mistakenly referred to
Like you've been doing it your whole life, Inquisitor.
as the Maker.
He means that as a compliment.
You're famous. Even down here. Is it true you killed a dragon?
Yeah.
I have. It was quite the battle.
I can't even imagine. Tell me about their teeth. I've heard they don't all breathe fire, and their scales have different colors and patterns.
Careful, Ren. I believe you're drooling.
Yeah, we've killed a lot of dragons at this point. You're gonna have to be more specific. What was Andraste inspired by? Let me ask you a bonus question. Why does Andraste need to be inspired by anything? She's some mage who's like, you know, I need to start a rebellion against the Deventer. So she did. Boom, boom, there you go. Boom. Done. And the irony is spirits take so much of what they are, their identity, if you will, from people, that if a truly pious person entered the Fade, they'd probably create a Maker. It wouldn't be the Maker, but you get my point. Is that another no. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we know pretty little about Andraste, really. Yeah, they just keep coming. This is great. This is Dragon Age 2 all of a sudden. Andraste, no question. Although, I don't think the Maker exists, and I mean that. Look, all I'm saying is that y'all are wrong! No, So you're saying that Solus is the Maker? Actually, that would make more sense than a lot of theories I've seen, so I'm with that. A lot of darkspawn teeth down here.
There's nothing left of them. Can't even tell who they were.
I'm sorry, Ren.
You join the Legion knowing you're already dead. You don't fear the killing blow. We rest in the stone and pass our strength back to her. That's our reward. But the Darkspawn defiled these soldiers. They can't return to the stone. They'd only weaken her.
There must be some way to lay them to rest with honor.
We can burn the remains.
Aye. That's all we can do.
War has changed, or the stone has changed.
Look at that, Ren. Could this be Hedron?
Darkspawn all over it. You can see their torches.
Even Darkspawn appreciate a little mood lighting.
We're getting close to something.
Aye. The fight of our lives.
This is a lot of, like, this is just the Underdark at this point. Which, I know, it was a direct inspiration, but Jesus. At least the Underdark is a magically crafted and magically maintained space to, you know, explain some of the physicsy problems therewith. I mean, it is David Hayter, Papa Neeks. But yeah, he's just playing Snake here.
Keep your mouth closed when fighting Darkspawn. Their blood's poison.
Lovely creatures.
There was this Carter boy, Vaughn, who joined the Legion around the same time I did. Fast with daggers. Could poke 50 holes in a Hurlock before the Blighter knew what happened. Daggers are messy. Vaughn swallowed some spatter. Took him 3 days to die.
We need to work on your stories, Grizzly.
Solid Deep Stalker. I like it. I mean, if the Maker was... So, okay. If the Maker is anybody at all, it's probably one of the jackasses. Like, almost guaranteed. And
Lost a good soldier in the roads once.
And they're probably stuck in the Fade because of the Veil. And they're like, get me out! Get me out! And there's the connection to Andraste. I myself even gave my own version of this when I was talking about the Elden Lord concept, right? If you forced me to explain everything, I'd be like, okay, it's the Elden Lord. There you go. Not an ancient elf jackass, just an Elden Lord.
She fell down a hole. Found her 3 days later.
He loves this story.
She spent a whole day telling us all the strange things she saw while lost. A golden longboat floating in the air. Packs of hairless children hunting nugs. A giant skeleton on a throne.
Was it true?
Never found out. She woke up the next day, couldn't remember any of it.
And then she said, Metal Gear! Sorry. So, several days ago, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, this is just my life. I've been playing Dragon Age for my entire life right now. Someone asked me, all right, lore, invent all the lore. Right now, you're doing a Dragon Age rewrite, do it. And I sat down, I thought about it for a while. I was like, okay. So, I don't remember all the details, because I actually came up with quite a few details. But the vague idea is, the Fade is a prison for someone called the Elden Lord. Who it is doesn't actually matter. But the Elden Lord is someone who is bad, and who they couldn't deal with for whatever reason. So they decided, yeah, we're just going to lock this jackass away and keep him sealed away, and that's what the Veil does, is to keep him locked away in the Fade. The Darkspawn are kind of a... Yeah, and the Elden Lord's a placeholder title, by the way. It doesn't actually mean anything. The Darkspawn happened because someone tried to pierce in order to get to him, and he was able to send a little bit of himself out, but just a little bit, and that's the taint. The taint is more or less literally just his malice given, magical malice given physical form. It's kind of the literal definition of a curse. So the taint is just curse. And that's why it only affects organic things, because the malice involved requires something to suffer in order for it to actually operate. It won't affect the stone because it has no interest in the stone. Actually, yeah, I was very much inspired by Malice, capital M, from the Zelda franchise, for those of you aware of that. This malice is this big infection. It causes all these problems. And occasionally people who are very, very powerful will pierce the veil and enter the Fade and get bits or pieces of this Elden Lord. And that explains a lot of the bits and pieces along the way historically. Obviously, I already just mentioned the one with Corypheus. But also Andraste would be part of this as well. She reached forward and she saw a bit of the Elden Lord who didn't inspire her, didn't even talk to her. But she just got a glimpse of this extraordinarily powerful person within the Fade. So she took that idea and ran with it. And all of the concepts of, like, the Maker and all that come from her interpretation of seeing this supremely powerful being sitting within the Fade, right? So she goes off on her crusade, but everything she does is just on her own, right? Congrats, Active. Oh, right. There were other bits and pieces, but I went down the list with all the stuff we don't know and just kind of explained away everything as connected to this. I called it the whole Elden Lord story. And the Croatia story. Thank you, as always, Croatia. Andraste was super sexy. Always appreciate. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Thank you. And for additional 3 subs, I'll put a negative of your choice to Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's still just the dumbest idea. I hope you're, enjoying it, Lotario. So in my version of events, no Lucas Slaughter. But obviously going off of canon, 100 negatives to gameplay. Why? Paid for. God, that's the dumbest idea. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to become a professional game reviewer there for a few seconds. No, I would say that whatever was in... I'm saying this from the wrong direction. I've already said that I'm pretty sure that in lore, the actual canon explanation is that the Fade is there to... The Black City is one of the ancient elven cities, and they're imprisoned in there, and that's cool and awful and terrible. And so, I don't think anything got out when the Magisters pierced it. Thank you, Evo. I'll take that. Thank you. It means a lot. I did not mean to jump that high. Sorry. There we go. Let's do a regular... Up, okay. Regular jump, please. Regular jump. Okay, I swear I'm just tapping it. I think I'm just physicsing a bit here. Yeah, I can use my flat bars. Whee! I left it on just in case. But I turned off the run mod. I don't know if you noticed that. In actual canon... Okay, so... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, never mind. Oh, absolutely. Zero question, Evo. We know this...
We have been down here for centuries.
This whole game was inspired by Forgotten Realms.
These goods are amazingly well preserved.
So, yeah, no. Zero question. Which is funny, because that was actually a change in the writing partially through Lotario. Good figure. I'm debating if I should share my actual theory on canon now or later. Favorite non-Forgotten Realms D&D setting? Not applicable. I don't have an opinion of any of them sufficient to have an opinion on any of them. I suppose by default it would be Eberron, but I don't really have much of an opinion on Eberron. Oh, absolutely, Lothario. If not Avernus from Forgotten Realms, then Avernus the same thing that Forgotten Realms took that term from. One of the two. Why do I have to commit the crime, Von Falkenstein? That's terrible. Oh my god. Can I commit suicide immediately afterwards? Ugh. Yes, Croatia. One positive is equal to one positive.
Lost my leg to a hurlock a few years back. Left a nasty scar.
How'd you get away?
Kicked her with the other leg.
Good man.
Seriously, keep your guard up. They'll use your tongue as jewelry.
I'll remember that.
Do like using my tongue. As jewelry, I mean. God, that's really terrible, Von Falkenstein. Alright, well I can commit one crime and ensure that it never happens again. Okay. Cool. So anyways, I'm gonna ignore that question now. Let's put out one bad review so that we never get a bad review again. Genociding spiders, first of all, I can't just do that. I can't commit that crime. Second of all, it's not a crime.
I heard the hero of Ferelden came down
It's
here.
public service.
Cardall met the warden, but I never had the pleasure.
Do you often see Grey Wardens?
From time to time. They're a good bunch. Tough in a fight. Fearless.
I guess I'll share the canon theory now, but it spoils Trespasser, okay? I mean, if you put an animal protection law for spiders, then I'm going to break that law constantly. Knowingly, willingly, and very deliberately. I suppose there's nothing really going on right now, so I could just put up the spoiler flag. It's a stupid thing. There you go. It was his sled! It was always his sled. Lion Court. That's an interesting answer. Not what I would do, but an interesting answer. Come on. I've got it. I'll rush a game purely to ensure that I'm making more money for Quarterly Report. Okay, so I think the spoiler warning has been up for long enough. You've had plenty of time to mute me if you don't want spoilers for the DLC we're going to be doing. Probably tomorrow, because I'm told the descent is long, and there's no way we're beating this today.
That was a big one.
We need to go deeper.
Only way down from here is falling. Not keen on that.
I'd also like to avoid falling if we're counting votes.
There has to be another way.
Okay. Hang on. Croatia. Negative 14. Ah. So that would actually be... Oh, where is it? There. Does that make more sense? So anyways. Now that I'm not doing anything, I should drop these at least. It is my opinion that the canon answer is that the writers didn't come up with an answer and decided to just make it up on the fly after the fact. Oh wait, no, I'm joking. They pulled an Evo! No, Evo's a better writer than that. What it probably is at this point in time, is the Evanuris, or the Ancient Elves, whatever the hell their goddamn name is. The people who are shoved into the Fade, the reason the Veil exists, are the cause of everything. That is the cause of absolutely freaking everything. Yeah, I'm just going to stand here for a second. The idea here being that when someone tried to pierce the Veil in order to physically enter the Fade, what they did was they allowed a piece of the Fade to then merge with the realm physically. We hear from Solus, the extremely evil jackass who deserves to die, and is a terrible character in negative 15 to story, that the world was just different back then. That the Veil not existing meant that the Fade and the material plane were as one. And he's extremely vague about that, which irritates the snot out of me. That might actually be a negative, but we'll get there when we get there, probably tomorrow. The point being that what I interpret is that the Darkspawn are that. That the Darkspawn are actually Fade and people having actually merged in the way that they normally should. Now, maybe it's perverted and maybe it's not. That's a matter of debate. But the point here being that because of what caused them, the infiltration into the Fade, and because of them continuing to exist as like a sort of maintained pipeline directly to the Fade, they kind of bypass most of the normal rules because they are literally magic. As in the way... Jesus Christ. As in the way things used to be. Hi, kiddo.
Snack.
No snacks for you.
What snack?
You took snacks to lunch, didn't you?
I will take
This is my snack. I have one. You don't get the ear. I saved these if you want these.
Okay. Shrimp.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
Shrimp.
Ugh.
Shrimp. Shrimp.
Enjoy your shrimp, weirdo. No, it's the shrimp flavored ones. They're actually pretty good. I just, I was saving them. But that was I saying. Hi.
Shrimp.
So the shrimp, yes, they're extraordinarily evil. They're murder thousands of people to make themselves look pretty evil. They're really, really, really bad guys. But that's my point. Solus is like, oh man, everything was super awesome back in the day, and everything was cool and fantastic and wonderful, and people nowadays aren't even alive. They don't even count as people because they're... So the idea here being that the spirits and the demons and all that are the other halves of people, right? That's the part of people that we're missing. That's why they're not complete beings. That's why they're not fully sentient sapient, because they can't be. It is the Solus's posit that we are also, similarly, not fully people, because we're missing that other half. That's big. And then, again, this ties directly into the Darkspawn, who have successfully remerged into a singular being, a fully Fade and fully physical creature, which explains a whole lot about how the Darkspawn operate. The mere interaction of an archdemon beaming its soul into one of them and forming a new archdemon body out of the existing one is mass creation, which sounds really minor, I'm sure, but is actually one of the more insane magical effects that happen within this very setting. Corypheus is someone who can replicate that effect, and of course he is, because it's his intrusion originally that caused the original leak that caused them to exist as it. You get it, right? That's the idea. That's what I think is actually happening in canon. So, shrug. I'm gonna headbutt my niece. Yay. No, yeah, Solus mentioned that, yeah, he's just not into it, and we're probably some of the first actual friends he's had in forever. We'll see what he says this time around, because I actually bothered to raise his rep this time. Sure thing, Colgrim. Here's my big, in-depth repeat of what I just said. I was leaving the flag up for a few seconds, because what tends to happen is people then tend to respond to me in chat, and so there's still spoilers in chat, and so you get the idea. It's not like there's anything going on right now in the game anyways.
Is that a robot?
Nope, that is a mushroom. See?
Oh.
Growing out of a bug. We're gonna pretend we never saw that and leave forever.
You.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Thanks for that, kiddo. So.
The most teeny tiny fish.
Oh my gosh, that's
and then
so
I
cute.
noticed how small it was.
Must be close to a nest.
That explains the stench.
Hold on, Bo!
So here's the deal. I don't think Solus is lying at all. I've seen nothing in the games that indicate that Solus is lying. However, that doesn't mean everything Solus is telling us is true. Contrarily enough. Solus is obviously extraordinarily biased. And even he, well, yeah, except for the obvious thing, even he admits his general bias on the matter. And, you know, he definitely is pining for the good old days, and he definitely has some rose-tinted glasses on. No question. But that's different from lying. That just means he's wrong.
Mushroom bug.
Nope. It's gone. It's gone. We gotta get away from it. Get away. There we go. Getting away with it. Just getting away from that. And yes, Wandering Doll and someone else both mentioned that there is a codex entry and, like, I think one thing in one of the books. Hi, cat. Also, hi, Savicom, but mostly the cat. That indicates that the taint, that is to say the Great Darkness, might have come from even beyond. Who knows? Like, that could be all kinds of different things. Yeah, she's right. This might just be, this is my life. Requires 5 scorched gears. Forever. It's still there. It's still there on my screen.
Requires 5 scorched ancient years.
And things to kill. Cool.
Oh no.
We still require 5 scorched ancient gears. Cool.
When I looked at the shriek,
Okay,
I
I
thought
think
it
we're
said Shrek.
Yes, we're killing Shrek. I mean, the elves did it, 100%. And to use my own terminology very clearly, Lothario, even if you are not technically lying, if you are intending to deceive, then you're deceiving. And therefore, as the definition we were just using, you're lying. Make that what you will. Misleading is absolutely the same as deceiving, yes. Now, as with all such things, they are a gradient, but the fact remains. Of course, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, because I'm tired.
Don't let them get behind us!
No! Don't lose the Pocky. The Pocky is our lifeline.
Why am I eating them then?
Because that's how you live. That's what it means. You continue to survive because Pocky. No! Live! Live! Take the Pocky, quick! I don't like it, Colgrim. But we still haven't met these archer people that Lord Harrowmont was talking about, so... So far, it's just a bunch of Darkspawn with too much health. And my companions can't stay alive as well as I can. Which, that's nothing new, admittedly. It's just the same, but slower.
Does the fire damage you?
That's a good question. Let's go find out. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. Nope, that hurts. So I feel the Darkspawn designs and origins are passable. But the Darkspawn designs in 2 are decent, and I rather like them here. So 2 and 3, yep, I'm with it. I'm with it. Block. Yeah, okay. Block this. The what, Evo? I'm sorry. Is there music playing? Can you hear that? I sometimes wonder what she thinks when she pokes down and sees this, because, like, this whole sequence is much different when you're doing it like this, and all of a sudden you can't hear anything. This is weird, I'm not gonna lie. Not actually a Yoshi t-shirt, although she does have a few cool shirts like that. I think all of which I've bought her at this point. I'm sorry, Lord Harrowmont. I'm sorry. Lord Harrowmont's making fun of me. Well, he's actually angry at me. Well, because I've been streaming games he actually is interested in lately. Which is funny, because that's the second complaint I've received in the last week that's pretty much identical to that. Oh god, no, Wandering Doll. Let's not think about that. Let's not think about that. The no shirts are like, I got her a Metroid one, which is cool. I've gotten her, help me out here, kid. What else have I gotten you? Yep, the Stardew Valley one. That's a really cool one. I like that one. I don't remember what else. Are you exercising again? Okay, good. No! Again!
Extremely goth hatchery suit.
That's right. You don't like my hatchery suit?
No, I like it.
I'm gonna get...
I like that it...
Check her out. I need to come up with a name for her, or I could just call her Zanastma. That would be funny. I mean, Breath of Fire 2 might happen by the end of the year, Ross. Now, the catch is, Breath of Fire 1 and 3 will also happen. There's no avoiding it. It's the good and the bad. Like it always is. What are you doing? Okay. I should probably put my headphones back in so I can hear what's going on. That's true. It'll be pretty obvious when I switch from 1 to 2, or from 2 to 3, excuse me. And from 1 to 2, I suppose. Oh, there's just fighting. Okay, well, whatever. can't hear you under the explosions. What, kiddo? Wait, is this whole game a dungeon crawl? Or this whole DLC a dungeon crawl? That's worrisome. That makes sense, Evo. But you know what I'm about to say. There's actually two reasons. First of all, that was the level cap back in the old Baldur's Gate, Lotario. And second of all, although that's debatable. And second of all, level 13 is officially when epic levels start in 5th edition. And they were trying to keep the story relatively small scale and localized. So, there you go. There's your answer. You know, I'm pretty sure that's not what I said, Evo. In fact, I think that just cost you another minute. Game, please don't make me fall off the ledge because you're trying to melee something. What's the negative, Colton? Oh, my fan. Gee, have you ever heard of a game that allows that to happen, Gulgrim? I can't think of any game that allows you to just swap weapons, which completely changes your kit. I mean, it's a long game, Crofty. If it doesn't have that many story positives, it's done something wrong. Congrats, Ross. Welcome to the point many other people had the exact same reaction to, for the exact same reason. You know what's really funny, Colgrim? I hate swapping weapons in Guild Wars 2, so I don't do it. And I get mercilessly mocked for that, and I just kinda don't care. Don't mistake me, in like review purpose, oh, I cannot stand Elementalist. For review purposes, obviously that's a positive, not a negative, but it's just a total personal preference thing. I just do not like having to swap weapons in order to keep that whole thing up. But I'm actually leveling a Mechanist right now for the latest expansion. It is my latest project.
So that's how the Lyrium experimented.
What? Yeah, honestly, so far, and obviously this is just so far, this reminds me a lot of Golems of Amgarok. Here's a combat DLC for people who want combat and challenge. Have fun! They're even both in the Deep Road, so it works out perfectly. couple of ogres. I mean, yeah, the Deep Roads is the Underdark. It's the high level zone. It's the Direlands, right? That's how that works. Oh, I got grabbed. And I got through my barrier. Oh, failed to get through my barrier. I mean, you don't have to explain to me, Colm. I understand that most people at this point consider weapon swapping to be default kit. I just kind of don't care. It's just not fun for me, so I just don't do it. That's all. That's it. Yeah, I was looking up a build. This is a while ago. It was for a Mesmer specifically. And the whole build was set up around constantly swapping weapons in order to give the runic bonuses for swapping weapons. And I looked at it, I was like, that's neat. I didn't do that build. One down. No, Litario. Although it's worth noting, AO has never been given a stat sheet. If you don't understand the significance of that, anything that's ever given a stat sheet is intended to be killable. So, shrug. By the way, every deity in Forgotten Realms has been given a stat sheet. Would you stop spawning? God damn it. That's a good question, Colgrim. I'd have to look. And by look, I mean, it's hard. Hard's the wrong word. It's not easy to find stats for D&D stuff online because those are in the books. And so Wizards of the Coast has a vested interest in making sure you buy those books. So they tend to go after people who host, for example, PDFs online. So, and yeah, the books are expensive. So there's kind of an issue with getting access to some of that stuff. Now, sometimes you can find it because, you know, people are people. Yo ho ho and all that. AO does not have a stat sheet, Mr. Red. So at the moment, the answer to that is no. Why is that behind me? I don't want you to link anything, Lord Herman. I also don't know what you Googled, exactly. Oh my god, stop respawning. Actually, it's funny. Wizards of the Coast's overall sales figures went down during the lockdown. Now, can you guess why? If you guessed, is it because they're a moron? Then yeah. So...
Get to the emissary leader! Cut it down and they're done!
Okay. Sure. Can I move now? Thanks. So it boils down to this. Wizards of the Coast, have sort of been dinosaurs about the digital age. I know D&D Beyond exists, and that's kind of the beginnings of getting into that, but it's such a threadbare thing. I would say it's only really gotten worth a damn within the last year and a half or so, give or take. Which you'll notice was after COVID really hit. You can guess why. You could put the dots there together. I don't think I need to tell you how that happened. For whatever reason, Wizards of the Coast has been anti-digital for years upon years, to the absolute aggravation of an inordinate quantity of players, myself included. Exactly, Junk Garage. A lot of people don't remember D&D Beyond was not owned by Wizards of the Coast until they bought it because of the pandemic. Anyways, so they didn't have a strong online presence. They didn't have the infrastructure. They didn't have the resources. They didn't have anything. And that's why their sales went down during COVID. It was because people were using online resources that other people were putting in, which obviously you don't have to pay for. I have no idea, Lothario.
Don't let that emissary leader control the battle. This is our fight.
Okay. How long have I been fighting here? This feels like I've been here a while. My niece has come downstairs and then gone back upstairs for the duration of this fight. Okay, game. I don't even know what you're doing here. Yep, Beyond has been getting better, in the interest of honesty and fairness. Like I said, it's just odd. It's a really recent trend. Yeah, he's just super... Is it just fire immunity? Fire resistance? Oh, it's just fire resistance. Cold vuln, not that I can do anything about that. So the immediate answer is not applicable, Lothario. But there is no such thing, really. But the more generic answer is Akkadi, Amantur, Agrada, Anam the Allfather, Asgaroth, Asmodeus, Bahamut, Bane. No, that's not true. Bahamut, Shanti, Cyric, Enki, Enlil, Gyarados, Garl, Glittergold, Ganadar, Great Mother, Grumsh, Hitea, Horus, all these people. You're probably thinking, what's the distinction? Greater deities. There's actually four, categories of deities amongst the Forgotten Realm ones. So anyone that's greater would probably qualify as the next strongest. Of which there are quite a few. There's like 30 or so. I think that's absence of a positive, Colgrim. And I was thinking about Guild Wars 2 specifically for that. Diablo 2 had the same thing, and we kind of did the same thing there. It's more like there is no hierarchy, Lothario. Hence, not applicable.
That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it, or why?
This Tig is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
I'm starting to see a trend.
If there is a Titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
That reference to singing stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
Yes, I have, Colgrim. I've also given a positive for good AI, because this is Dragon Age Inquisition, and that's just how this works.
How can we be sure what the book says is true?
We shouldn't force connections that don't exist.
Perhaps this will change her mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? Maybe you are onto something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Geralt's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a Shaper.
Not all Shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A cousin of King Haramount discovered that her husband's ancestor had Carta connections. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records? Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
Understandable. Yesterday's all the rage is today's embarrassment.
Yeah, by the way, lore shock.
If the Shaperate is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
Yeah, honestly, who cares? People's motives can vary all over the place. Especially if they're not really thinking about it.
It takes courage to challenge authority.
I suppose you would know. Some believe the past is what we make it. But we gain nothing from ignoring mistakes.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
Okay, I'm awake. Let's do this. Oh, and before you ask, yes, I've already given the brickwork positive. Sure as hell looks better than it did in Dragon Age Origins. Oh god, we're not even halfway there. Okay. No, it looks great. Like, the visuals are legit down here. We cannot get out, Papa Nix. I mean, I said it before, this is the Dragon Age game that has gotten the most visual positives of all three. And for obvious reasons. Now it's nice and dark.
What was that?
What was what?
Something moved. There. Light a torch.
So I can see us coming? Just stay close.
It's fine, everything's fine.
Nothing's stopping us from going back up.
We're not going back up.
Just a suggestion.
We've gone past the deep roads.
How can you tell? It's pitch black.
I can feel it.
Nice place. And we're only halfway through this damn place.
Show yourselves!
Ren!
I...
Not at all.
So I'm guessing those are the machine gun guys. If only we had healing magic. Cool. Shah Breital, revered defenders. Let's see how we do. We still have our finger on the cheat button, but we haven't pressed it yet. I could see that, bro, off yourself. Burself? I don't know how to pronounce that, but Burself. I'm gonna say Burself right now. Look, I'm trying to earn, not cheating, okay? What can I say? I don't believe it personally, but I could see that. Hi, Nortame. I have played Crystal Chronicles and I hated it, so I put it down and sold it back to the game store. So I've never played through it. Very few tracks here. Snake? Snake!
You deserved better. Ren never wanted this life. He was a cobbler, a good one. He joined the Legion to pay his father's debts. It kept his mother and brother from losing their caste. The poor and desperate here often sacrifice themselves for their family's future.
Ren was a good man. We'll honor his sacrifice.
He always seemed indestructible. The armor on these warriors. There's lyrium woven directly into the metal, and it's bonded to their skin. Impossible to remove, but I know what we'd find underneath. These are dwarves. Ren was killed by our own kind.
All it took was a single strike. Ren never had a chance.
The bolt was glowing. Their weapons could also have been infused with lyrium. I won't leave Ren like this. We must return him to the stone. Thrust Tonsha Saroka. I'll see this through, Ren. I promise.
Well, that sucks. I liked him.
Anything standing between us and the Titan will regret it.
Nice place, by the way. This is appropriately horrifying. Very Metroid. Not even close, Ross, no. Even doing everything. GTA 5 is a very smooth game. Having said that... Hang on. Let me just tell you how long the last one was, shall I? As a reminder, you could type !next into chat to get up what next games would be. The last time we played GTA 5, it was 46 hours. We have blown past that already in Inquisition. Hell, I think Origins might have been longer than that. Let's check. Yep, Origins was longer than that. And tomorrow, Inquisition will be longer than Origins. There we go. Ooh. No bet, Crazy Norse. I don't take easy bets. It is, but we will not be doing so, Ross.
Memories in Orzammar, but ancient. Very ancient. The words seem based in Dwarven, but I barely recognize this dialect.
Can you translate any of it?
Only fragments. The language is very different from what we speak today. This word keeps appearing. Shah Brital. I believe it means revered defenders.
That's quite a long stewardship.
They attacked us because they're protecting something. Satanal. Satanal. Cut our tongues, entomb our bodies, watch over the Titan until it stirs. So the warriors who attacked us must be the Shabratal, and they're protecting a Titan.
Are you all right, Falta?
I can hear Ren's objections. Let's keep moving. If more of these memories exist, they may have the answers we need.
I don't know, hearing the dead is never a good sign, especially down here. I mean, you know my opinion. I would rather a non-RPG game, which was focused on exploring the Dark Roads, which I think would be the easy answer here. However, once again, you're asking me a question I default to answering as a manager. I gave my theory earlier, which I stand behind, whoops, that every BioWare game has either gotten lucky or not, because they have no idea what they're doing and have bad management. So, having said that, let me think about that for a minute, because that's actually a trickier discussion than it sounds. Because it kind of depends on all the other connecting threads. Like, are they still being mandated to make a game with low support and low budget and low time? Or are they still being forced to use the Frostbite engine and having no idea how to use it? These are relevant things when deciding this kind of a thing. Around 040. course, if you're just asking me the question as a player, that's a totally different perspective.
I'm too pretty to die!
Yeah, no, I don't know what they're immune to. It just keeps popping up. Maybe it's the Vuln? I don't know. Yes, Wandering Doll, I heard him. We've rolled the coin. Dragon Age 4 will not be coming out today.
There's something strange on the other side. I can feel it.
My guess is another earthquake that hits when we're halfway across the bridge.
Watch your step.
Thanks, Varric.
Someone sabotaged the bridge, and we don't have time to fix it. There, that ledge. We can reach it if we're careful.
If we wanted to be careful, we'd be up on the surface.
I mean, yeah. How bad do I think Dragon Age 4 will be? I've said this before, and I will repeat myself without hesitation. I think the ceiling, as in how good it's possible for Dragon Age 4 to be, will be Andromeda. That's my formal and official opinion, by the way. Yeah, I honestly think Anthem is a little bit more realistic for what we should be expecting. Especially since it'll probably come out now.
Ancient carvings.
Aye, but these seem to be about the Titan. It shapes the stone. It is the stone. It sculpts the world within and without.
Wouldn't something that can sculpt the world have to be rather enormous?
It is called a Titan.
So it's a shaper of the stone, like you.
This implies that the Titans are actually sculptors, and our world is their clay.
If Titans shape the stone, could they have actually created it?
The stone must have existed first.
Then the Titans would be the very first children of the stone.
That would have huge implications for my people.
If Titans can purposely reshape the world, the earthquakes could be the way they sculpt the stone.
But the quakes are destructive. Titans would mold the world, not smash it to pieces.
Depending on your perspective, change can be violent.
But if this is true, how could it be missing from the memories of Orzammar? Why would someone erase such an integral part of our history?
Let's answer that after we stop the earthquakes.
The rhythm is louder than ever. We're close.
I do agree that there's tons of potential stories down here. I know I haven't really given you an answer on that, and the answer is I'm just kind of torn. Having said all of that, I do think there's enough of an environment and lore and story in the Deep Roads to do an entire game set in it. But probably not a 70 or 80 hour game, maybe more like a 20-hour game, right? Dragon Age 2 length. Which, as I've given my opinion before, there's nothing wrong with a relatively short RPG. I think that's my final answer on that. Just do a little side RPG. Set it down here, flesh out some things, build up some things, eat some lyrium, yum yum yum. You know.
Look at that. Like stars at night.
All these lyrium veins, and they're completely untapped.
And
Shabratal must mine lyrium somewhere. Their weapons and armor are laced with it.
Unless they found another way to harness it.
Nice place. Yeah, like, making this a full expansion might be a better way. We keep talking DLCs because that's what we're used to, but I still, to this very day, think there's a value in the concept of an expansion. And obviously I'm not the only one who thinks that, because Elden Ring is getting an expansion, and Cyberpunk is getting an expansion. But yeah, like doing a real, full, meaty expansion kind of a thing for the Deep Roads. Boom. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, a standalone expansion would work too. Yeah, Blood and Wine's pretty meaty. I don't know exactly how long, but we spent a while in there. We did most of the content when we did the lore run. Yeah, so I noticed, if you've been paying attention, I haven't given a lot of pluses or minuses in any direction. So far, I'm kind of with it on the story, and I'm sort of not with it on the gameplay. Which, I know, shocking for this game. But that's kind of where my opinion is at so far. We'll see if we have any actual boss design down here. We did have a real boss over in the Hakan DLC, so that was fun. We have not actually reviewed Witcher 3 under the current system, no. We did do the lore run, though. Oh yeah, funny thought. Oh yeah, Toussaint is going to absolutely destroy on brickwork and doodads. Like, just both. Enjoy the walk, Bergman. Yeah, we already met the first Inquisitor. He was cool. Yeah, the Witcher lore run is on the VODs, obviously. Oof! No, yeah, you're right. I'm not really into dungeon crawling, and I'm kind of done with the game's gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, it's me, you know, measured, fair, etc. I'm not, like, baking negative upon negative on top of it, because I don't think it needs it.
They
Could.
used this to stop us. There must be some way to get through.
Yeah, we just do this. So far I've given a negative for the difficulty spike, which I absolutely stand by. It's pretty much the exact same negative we gave Golems of Amgarok, and for the same reason.
I see no evidence of Darkspawn here.
Let's just be grateful.
But there must be a reason they avoid this place.
I mean, other than the people who keep it safe, we just talked to this. Well, like Witcher 1 and 2? Let me come back to that for a second. The dungeon crawling hasn't been particularly bad, but I also think it's just kind of there, so that's a pretty net neutral. Get this thing here. Story-wise, I like the other dude. I love the visuals down here. I know the big twist that's coming up. Of course I do. I'm not sure what I think of it yet. I guess that's it at the moment. So Witchers, right? Switching topics here for a second. I would rather eat rusty horseshoes than play Witcher 2 again. So that's flat out vetoed. Witcher 1 is a game that the last time I tried to get it playing, I had severe issues actually getting it running at all. So, by sheer feasibility reasons, I'd probably go ahead and veto Witcher 1 as well. So, having thought it out, no, I don't think I could allow 1 or 2 to be playable. I've heard that, Loner, but haven't really seen anything concrete yet. God, stop shooting me! So, Witcher 1, I shouldn't have to explain that, but you're probably not asking about Witcher 1's are, you're probably asking about Witcher 2. So I don't like Witcher 2. And there's two really, really big reasons why. First is the story, and second is the gameplay. I'm sorry.
Creatures aren't deep stalkers. What do they eat to survive?
Probably best not to think about that.
It's not a bad story, but it's extraordinarily a not me story. It is a story that I am not a particularly big fan of, and that I have trouble dealing with. The story does have issues. The story would get negatives, but I'm not going to like that story no matter how good it is. Which brings me immediately to the gameplay. By contrast, the gameplay is kind of terrible. Witcher 2 is such a beta prototype game, and it shows. Oh, wow, look at that ocean down there. It has absolutely no idea. Like, Witcher 2 is quite literally the crawl so that Witcher 3 could run. This is not even conjecture. We know this. They were trying to develop their own engine, and just like every developer who does that, including the people who are working on the very game we're playing right now, they had absolutely no idea what they're doing, and there's constant issues related to the engine. So, yeah, it's a prototype. It's a testbed game. It's a tech demo, and it shows tons upon tons of issues everywhere with the gameplay. Yeah, imagine if Andromeda knocked it out of the park because they were familiar with Frostbite at that point. That would have been cool, actually. And it's not like Andromeda didn't have tons of potential. It did. Don't look at me like that. They could have really gone somewhere with that. Instead, they must fight the Archon. Who are you? I am Archon. Okay, what's your motivation? Evil. Oh, that's good. That's good. I like that. Okay.
This weapon of theirs cut through the barrier, but was destroyed in the effort.
Let's keep gathering their weapons. There may be more barriers ahead.
Nope. It is, in fact, Frostbite. I just double-checked. I'm pretty sure I saw it on the Frostbite list earlier. So yeah, Andromeda is Frostbite.
You said we're beneath the deep roads. Do you think anyone besides the Shah Bratal has traveled down here?
We are very likely the first to travel this far.
Oh, I apparently should be looting people. Ugh. Do I have to loot people? I mean... Yeah, Frostbite is not designed to do close-up animations, and yet what is the BioWare standard cutscene? Definitely, Colgrim. That's definitely a feature I even knew existed prior to now. Wink, wink. Hang on, so I haven't been looting at all, so hang on, let's go just to make sure here. Listen, I know everything you're talking about, Colgrim, perfectly and 100%. I am an expert on the can eat more. Well, actually, yeah. Frostbite engine is a good engine for a shooter. And actually, while we're on the subject, it's a good engine for doing that kind of, like, explory, zooming around, like, say, being on some kind of vehicle while zooming around a large area. And I'm not making that up. Like the Battlefield games and some of the other stuff that Frostbite's made for can actually attest to that. And you'll notice these are some of the better aspects of Andromeda. The Nomad was legit. And honestly, the gunplay and the controls of just the core combat were actually pretty tight. Correct, Loner. And yeah, Need for Speed is another example of that driving gameplay. I'm explaining this wrong because I'm stupid. The idea is, if you want an engine... One of the things Frostbite is best at is allowing the player to go over nice, big, huge swaths of area while kind of pseudo-rendering some pretty terrain that you're going through, and probably shooting at it while you're going. Which, again, racing games or open-world exploration games, if you have a vehicle, or shooter games, it applies to all three pretty equally. So, yeah, like, I think that they could do the Mako sections, for example, pretty well in Frostbite. Dungeon crawling? Interface? Honestly, I would say the interface is probably the worst part of the Frostbite engine, by far. Completely not designed to have anything approaching a good interface. It also doesn't know how to do things like, for example, this entire menu, which is why this entire menu kinda sucks. And a whole bunch of other RPG-y kind of things. An attack? Good game. There's a second floor? In fact, there's a market? This is really Metroid. You know, if you took out the fun and intrigue... I'm sorry, that's mean. I don't mean that.
Powerful tremor yet.
Did you hear the same rhythm?
It's getting faster, harsh, like something breathing.
This place looks damn pretty. I'm probably going to give it its own positive. Like, the visuals of the Lyrium Depths. Yeah. If it's the Nug, then I think I already have that, Fulcrum. Although that's from a previous playthrough. Yeah, no, exactly. The set dressing is pretty legit. Credit where credit is due, and that is one of the things Frostbite's good at, so here we are.
We're both children of the stone. Please, stop!
Ape must not kill ape! Oh god, Dark Prince Revan. Okay, time to go make a decision. Dun 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 dun. I'd be amused if it's the same damn song too. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that was a crash. That was a hard crash. Come on, game. No, Triaxia. Not anytime soon. Or never again, but definitely not anytime soon. Let's see how much time we just lost. Also, they mentioned ripping out their tongues, Wandering Doll. You remember that? All I know about apes is that they're delicious. Where's this? We just lost several minutes. Yeah, we just crashed. I might give a negative for the quantity of the enemies down here. I get that that's the point, but I still think it's a little bit too much. I have no idea, Trahexia. Well, we are modding Crazy North, and as a reminder, this is extraordinarily mod hostile. You'll notice I have not given any crash negatives. It's because I cannot, in fairness, tell if there are any.
We're both children of the stone. Please, stop!
You know what, while we're here.
I hate destroying these weapons. They're artifacts. We could learn from them.
We have no choice. It's the only way through the barriers.
I mean, we could just walk over them. Like, I know in gameplay we can't, but surely in lore we can just climb over these things.
Nothing like these dwarves is mentioned anywhere in the memories. If I had been prepared, Ren might still be alive.
With those weapons and armor, few would have had a chance.
We need to stop the earthquakes before we lose anyone else. Ren will not die in vain.
Narrator. Ren died in vain. Oh, Kira Whitenose is right. Seriously, that is not an insurmountable obstacle. Look at that. Whatever. Oh god, play Travel, no! By the way, have we passed as far as you got yet? Out of curiosity. Good usage of lighting. Good usage of color. A lot of individual details that make the place feel like it's not natural. Like there's no demonstrable pattern to the rocks and the crags. But at the same time, there is a visible path based purely on which place does not have as deep of shadows. Stuff like that, right? There's all sorts of cool stuff here. In my terrible opinion. I mean, I know you and I have, like, the opposite when it comes to visual preference and all that, but trying to explain it. You know, I brought a Kunari on Falkenstein. Just saying. What does a full volley do? 2 sunders, Jesus. I guess it is a proc chance, not a guarantee per hit. Wait, okay, opposite's too much, but you can point. Ah, thank you for reminding me, Colgrim. I'm not going back. I'm going over there. We did a little bit of backtracking just now to grab another Shaper thing. Earthshaker weapon. That's it. Now we're going back to going forwards. We have returned to forwards going as opposed to going backwards. I legitimately think... I've been paying attention to the time of these fights. And I legitimately think that it actually causes the fight to go quicker if I just auto-fight and let the Sunder stack up. But the thing is, I'm not sure if this triggers the Sunder proc. If it does, I should be spamming that on cooldown. Marty, we gotta go back! Back where? Back to the future! I suppose I can hit it on cooldown anyways. It barely slows me down. I should probably do. Hang on, I have an idea. Great Scott! Sorry. I'll shut up. Getting close to the water down here. Yeah, there's just a giant underwater ocean. Underground ocean. We've got to be at least a mile below the surface at this point. We are below the deep roads, for God's sakes. Uh-oh. Oh, God. We should have trouble doing a lot of things, especially since lyrium, it kind of operates like radiation, as we've established many times. So there should be a lot of problems we're undergoing right now. This looks like a combat arena. There they are. Okay, that did proc Sunder. Okay, so it is worth doing... No, stop being this way. It is worth doing it. Well, it's a good thing that we take good care of our miners, because they have a very dangerous and difficult job, and I would hate for that to be treated like low difficulty, you know, low effort work that they just give to anybody and don't bother to take care of the workers. That would be terrible. What the hell was that? No, Von Falkenstein. We would never not take care of our miners in real life. That's crazy talk. Come on. We understand how essential and vital their jobs are, and how dangerous and difficult it is. So naturally, we would want to commensurately take care of them. Ensure that they have, you know, health care, and, you know, benefits, and mandatory time off, and all sorts of wonderful, fun things. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. We're okay. Everything's fine. Yeah, good wages, good benefits. It's cool. I don't know, what do you think of the water, Yura? Yep, get some free lung replacement. Cybernetic, of course. Spared no expense. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. The texture feels wrong, right? Like, just look at that. Can't loot. Whatever. Finish dying, please. That's a good point, Lord Harrimont. We can just undead our miners, keep them going. This is gonna be great. We're gonna triple our productivity. Oh no! Dorian's dead. I wasn't even looking. Oh god! The frigate's about to explode. Wait, really, Inami Shao? Holy crap. Thank you, Anachromarchist. I appreciate that. I am sorry you're sick, by the way. I think that was you earlier. I'm fighting the infinite wave of not dwarves myself. Seriously, this just seems to be an unending wave. Well, it wasn't letting me loot earlier. Let's see if it'll let me loot now. Okay, so that's why. The loot button wasn't working, but if I manually get close and right-click, it'll let me loot. That's my bad. We've been killing for a while, too. Just killing our way through it. We're just trying to depopulate another species. We've depopulated so many. Really, Colgrim? Fascinating. Tell me more. Yeah, we're just getting gold at this point. Let's go try it. Gotta pretend we're the hopping dwarves. We need the ultimate negative, Colgrim. Because we probably have a boss fight coming up. That's true, Crazy Norse. Non-evil necromancy actually fascinates me. It's also extraordinarily rare. For some reason. Interesting. Okay. Now what? Oh, defeat the remaining enemies. God, I can't read. That's true. RFF1 has a necromancer as part of the main party. And she is turbo not evil. At least that was the idea. Correct, Croatia. Retcons are not good or bad by themselves. So there's no automatic plus and no automatic negative there. The question then becomes, how well did they do it? Is the resultant retcon better for the story, worse for the story, or even both? It's just efficient, Jalou. Yeah, true enough, Pure Whiteness. No, yeah, Dragon Age, we talked about this earlier. Dragon Age Inquisition has, like, retconned so much of the lore of this setting. Hard to even properly estimate everything they changed. Unnecessary retcons? It doesn't matter if it's necessary or not, though. Again, all that matters is if it's good or bad. Now, I feel like I know where you're going with this, because we're about to find out what lyrium is. I do, Evo. I even said so, but I know you hate watching my stream. I don't blame you. What's funny is both DLCs are going to involve retcons. We have given positives to several retcons before, yes. We do have precedence on that. Well, that's a good question, Latario. But unfortunately, I actually do not have an answer for you because we cannot predict with any certainty what Dragon Age 4 is going to be other than crap. Yeah, I mean, not to spoil too much, but the big Star Wars retcon, you know, the biggest one, most people didn't actually realize that was a retcon at the time.
The attacks are getting worse.
We must be getting close to whatever they're protecting.
That is what I have considered to be the ceiling, Colgrim.
May pass. All others will be punished. Assuming the Shabratal are the pure,
We're the others who aren't allowed to pass.
could the earthquakes be the punishment?
You found Paragon Garal's book near a damaged lyrium mine. And the new earthquakes destroyed your mine.
But why would they want to destroy the lyrium mines?
I wonder what makes the warriors pure.
You spend long enough this far down, reason might not be your strong suit.
They do wear sealed armor to protect themselves from impurities?
It is, in fact, a spoiler, yes. Forgive me for being angry for a second. Just because it's been a while since something has happened does not suddenly magically mean everybody knows it. Some people like to pretend that just because something was a while ago, like a year ago or 20 years ago, it's totally okay to completely spoil it. Which is one of the most bullcrap arguments I've ever heard in my life, and I've heard people try to argue that the Earth is flat. There are too many possible scenarios in which that someone would actually prefer to not be spoiled on something, even though it came out 30 years ago. And it's one of the reasons we try to be respectful about that, especially on the show, but also I do that in real life as well. Yeah, how many of you in chat can name one thing right now which is considered a common spoiler that you didn't encounter until later on in your life, well after it came out? I can name several examples of that myself, although I'm not going to off the top of my head. A friend of mine played through Final Fantasy VII for the first time about 6 years ago. Ross in chat watched through Star Trek for the first time just a couple of years ago. Another person I know actually just went through Farscape. Oh, these are like 20, 30-year-old things here, for God's sakes. But then there's the obvious answer. You know, new... Hang on. The obvious answer, which is Generations. My niece... Yeah, stop putting spoilers in chat. My niece has not really sat down and watched, you know, insert thing here or played insert thing here. Those things came out 30 years ago. Is it okay to just spoil them to her because they're so old? No, of course it freaking isn't. That's the dumbest goddamn thing, and it actually pisses me off. Forgive me. I'm not, like, shouting at anyone in chat. I'm just... You get my point. It really frustrates me how much that common attitude there is. Right? How many times have you seen someone say something very sarcastically? It's always sarcastically. Oh, excuse me for spoiling a 20-year-old game. Or, excuse me for spoiling a 30-year-old movie. No, it's called not being a dick. Which is all I really care about. Moving on.
Titans? The Shabratal? This could be more than anything we expected.
For all the Shaperit's knowledge, I know so little. This reads like a final warning. We must be nearing the source.
She's just started getting into it, Savacom. So, nothing so far. So, I slip. Of course I do. I'm mortal and worthless and stupid and terrible. But I do make the effort to try and not spoil unrelated things. Now, I could spoil Dragon Age Origins right now, because this is a Dragon Age Inquisition stream. I'm not going to, but I could, right? That's how that works. Like, there's like a built-in range of acceptability. Once we get to GTA 5, I will freely spoil the events of GTA 3, and Vice City, and San Andreas, and 4, and 4's expansions, during the 5 run. And the stuff in 5 I will spoil is wherever we're at and prior to that, right? That's how that works. Anything prior to where we're at in the current stream is fair game. Because the other thing about this is you can't avoid all spoilers 100%, no really, because that's actually insanity. There is such a thing as being too anti-spoiler, and I'm not interested in that. But, you know, in context, relevant for the current thing, you get it. Oh, I know, Crazy Norse. I have encountered those. Thankfully, all my YouTube comments are caught before they go live, so I can manually approve them. That's a good question, Lord Harriman.
Or was it here before them?
Yeah, so those are... we're even further down below. We're now below the underwater ocean. And, well, you can see what's down here now. We're officially reaching suspension of disbelief being broken. Yeah, no, exactly. Journey to the center of the earth. No, absolutely, Lothario. Which is how I try to as well. I don't always succeed, but I try.
Nothing should surprise me anymore. But this... Wait. The rhythm we followed. We've found the source. But not the Titan.
Ever since we came down here, the deep roads have felt different. Organic. We've been looking for the Titan the wrong way. It isn't like us.
It's huge. Big enough to change the world around it.
We can't see the Titan. Because we're inside it.
Bum, bum, bum. Yes, there's your big reveal.
If I don't survive, Orzammar must know the truth.
Do you have any idea how far below the Earth we are right now?
I didn't defeat Corypheus to die here.
Anyways, I want to be clear, Lothario. I'm not accusing you of anything. It's just, it's worth bringing that up every now and again, because not everyone has heard that. And my reasoning why I try to be respectful about spoilers, regardless of how long ago they were, right? That's all. I didn't kill Corypheus to die to these stupid dwarves. I did it to die to that ogre earlier. It's a good question, Von Falkenstein. I don't know. Because we can do this whenever. I mean, hypothetically. I'm so tempted to just hover out there and be like, you know. Like, woo, 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 woo. Although, actually, I do want to explore just a little bit. Just check this out. I don't think that's supposed to be the sky. In fact, oh god, look, you can see how they're doing the rendering on it. Look at it.
Structures. Could there be a whole civilization in here?
A city within a Titan. Incredible.
And the quakes haven't damaged it.
So yeah, there's the sky, which, huh? It's true, Lothario. It's one of the reasons why I use Rosebud, that is to say the sled, as like the universal sign of spoilers.
Don't make us fight you!
What kind kind of wish we were cheating, I'm not gonna lie. There you go. I suppose, based on the scale we're seeing here, it's probably more likely that rather than Orzammar being a Titan, Orzammar is probably just another part of this same Titan. Oh no, I don't want to, Lord Hermon. Obviously, because I'm not. Just, that would frustrate the crap out of me, cheating at the final, like, 20 yards of a 300-kilometer run, you know? Oh, absolutely, Luke. So once again, we're saving the entire world. I mean, also try to remember that this Titan's quakes are affecting the surface. Think about how far down we are right now. And try to remember that above us is that giant cavern with the underwater ocean. We're below that. Thank you, Lord Hermon. So, I obviously disagree with you on many, many things, Croatia. For example, I think Croatia's awesome. Wait. But, yeah, we're in Turbo Underdark at this point. But I do agree that one of the things that just kind of makes me roll my eyes so hard is this reveal. Because, spoilers, not really, we've kind of already seen all we're going to about the spoilers here. So once again, and Bioware just loves doing this, they put a big, giant, setting-altering reveal at the tail end of a DLC. Who knows if this will even be followed through on? I haven't been to Croatia.
I don't want to hurt you!
Yet. Yeah, no, it feels hollow. Because everything's got to be big and impacting, and oh my gosh, Bagwong! Bagwong! What's down here? The source of all life in the entire universe! Okay. What's over there? A giant the size of an entire continent. Okay, cool. What's over there? A cheesecake that's as big as the entire Milky Way. Okay, cool, cool. Now listen, I need to go to the store. Can you give me some? Would you like some milk that has been grown in the heart of a pulsar star? No, I'm good. Thank you. Just some regular old, like, milk, please. Please. It's so regular, everyone in the history of all of reality has contributed to the crafting of this milk. Okay, that's cool. Correct, Crazy Norse. I have essentially never left the country I live in. Look, Croatia, I know my opinions are terrible and awful. You don't have to tell me. I'm told that every day of my life. But, I am with you on this. The reason I was holding off in my opinion is because the whole spoilers thing I talked about earlier. Trying to keep quiet about it until it hit the screen so we could then talk about it. And this is just... you were mentioning an unnecessary retcon. Why this? Right? Actually, you want to hear something funny, Loner? I was talking to Pax 2 nights ago. And I was talking about how he and I don't really live all that far away from each other. Which is true. We just live the entire length of France away from each other. I looked it up. You could cross France in a day, but, I mean... Yeah, the United States is a large country. There's a reason why flight is so common over here. It does not, actually, Lord Irma.
These are the only memories in this area. That phrase is the path of purity. And there's a reference to Titan's blood. It says the Shabratal come here to drink it.
I only see one substance here that's found in veins.
Lyrium. The Titan's blood is lyrium.
Oh, sorry, I guess that's the other big spoiler. We kind of already guessed that because we already know that lyrium is organic, but here's our full confirmation. This is why lyrium can be blighted, because it's blood.
Every nation on the surface buys lyrium. Orzamar's entire economy is based on the trade.
This is bigger than any one nation.
Correct, Savaka.
We have to stop this!
Or else the entire world will be destroyed. But yes, dwarves don't dream, which means they have no connection to the Fade, which is extremely questionable given what we're going to learn in the next DLC, but we'll get there. So... Are dwarves white blood cells? Completely unnecessary Dark Day. You could safely skip the whole thing. In answer to your GTA 4 question. Also, that much concentrated lyrium should probably be killing us. Not like driving us mad or crazy. No, just straight up killing us. So there's our boss. This looks like fun. This really is a Metroid boss. Fair enough, Loner. So, yeah, why are we fighting this? I mean, I know why. It's because we had to have one more boss fight. The same reason we fought Orsino. It's the Guardian. I have no idea what this thing is. It's a lyrium golem. Let's just call it what it is. Considering we know... Considering this thing is supposed to be non-malevolent, I have no idea what's going on here. Don't ask me. I got nothing. Oh, Jesus, Ross. I'm sorry. I have done that trick. In fact, I have driven from California to Kansas. East Kansas, by the way, if you understand the significance of that. Ugh. Okay, could you, like, quit it, please? Appreciate you. Honestly, yeah, Dark Day. The question is it good or bad? Which brings us to the very thing happening right now. Ugh. Utah's good the first few hours, minutes. And then you keep going and going, and then you realize you can't remember the last time you saw anything other than flat terrain and a single road. That's kind of like fighting this boss right now. Flat terrain and a single road. What the hell was that? Nah, get up. Have you noticed the AI doesn't know how to deal with this thing? Have you also noticed that it has contact damage? An unmoving boss, which you have to get right up next to melee, has contact damage. Please think about that for a second. I mean, I actually agree with you, Croatia. I was poking fun, Croatia. I was poking fun. I'm sorry, I didn't make that clear. Thank you very, very much. Always appreciate those subs. Let me... hang on. Just do a couple things here. And I will jot that down. Hang on. I1, IE1. Or live alive art. Thank you very much for the sub. As a reminder, you can put that towards up to 3 things, not just one. So that fight came this close to being interesting. But is a negative to gameplay.
Malta, are you hurt?
Too loud. The song. Stop!
I agree, Logue. Sorry. You got it. Thank you again.
I am... It's all right.
You cast some kind of spell. That shouldn't be possible.
It wasn't a spell. It was an accident. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's not terrifying.
It looked like you were hit by raw lyrium during the battle.
Yes, it should have poisoned me, but I feel fine. Good, even.
You said the song was too loud. It was hurting you.
It was chaos. The rhythm I followed here, but magnified, overwhelming. But it is gone.
You almost killed me. What happens the next time you lash out?
I am in control. I would never harm you, Inquisitor.
Uh-huh.
We should get help. You may be injured, or...
I feel better than I ever have. Stronger, more alive. The stone is silent. The rhythm has faded, and so have the tremors. But the song still echoes. It tells me things. The breach, that's what disturbed the Titan. It is calm now that it has a connection with one of its children. With me.
Was that the Titan? Did we kill it?
The Titan lives. This was an echo. A guardian. But you silenced it.
Okay.
Is this what happened at the Tig, where you found Paragon Garal's book?
Aye, but I do not know what disturbed the Titan then. The song may tell me. In time.
You said you were a child of the stone, not a child of the Titans.
I am not certain what I am. But the Titan recognized me. Like a parent hearing its child's voice.
The Titan changed you, Volta. You need to be cautious.
I am different, but I am still a shaper. Isana. It's our word for lyrium. And we are taught that it is a gift from the stone. But there's so much more to it than we ever imagined. I was sent to the deep roads to recover lost history. This is only the beginning. I am staying here.
The Shabratal killed Lieutenant Wren, and they're still down here. Aren't you afraid?
No. I am pure. I can defend myself.
The Titan is only the beginning? What else could there be?
The deep roads are filled with wonders. Answers to questions we haven't thought to ask.
If you stay here, where will you live? What will you eat?
I have my stone sense, and now so much more. I'll be safe.
You think you understand what's happened to you, but you could be wrong. The lyrium could be turning you into a Shabratal. Or worse.
The Shabratal turned themselves into monsters. I have changed because the Titan willed it. The mine's collapse, Ren's death. It all happened to bring me here.
If she wants to stay, that's her business. I'd like to see the sun again.
Nothing good ever happens in the deep roads. This won't be any different.
I am called to the Search Inquisitor. This is where I belong.
I'm leaving with more questions than answers. But that doesn't mean you have to. Just be careful.
So anyways, 4 negatives to story.
The Shaperate in Orzammar will want to know what happened to you.
Tell them the truth. You don't know.
And that explains it right there, in 1 sentence. Thank you, Caspian. I'm actually pretty pleased with how he turned out. And Zevran's voice actor, John Curry, does a great job with it. Yeah, for real, 4. The world building, the writing, the MSQ, the writing. I'll explain more when we don't have a cutscene. They're already typed up. I was typing them up during that cutscene. If you don't feel like waiting.
He always comes back. Pay up, Salroka.
Ren was a positive. I should mention this also got 3 positives to story. We're not going to talk about the gameplay side of things. Well, it's a sure good thing there's a search feature here so I can go look for something. Man, that's awesome that I can do that. Difficulty spikes are a negative in general, Jim Ryder. That's pretty normal. Especially when they're really boring difficulty. There's a codex entry we just unlocked for Titans. I was going to go read it out loud, but I don't know where it is. Oh, God. Frostbite can't do surges. Creatures? I was already in creatures. I thought I was. Nope, that's characters. Yeah, no, I was already in creatures. It's actually alphabetized for once. So look, Red Templars, Revenant, Shade, Shadow, Shriek, Sonfleur, Spellbinder, Terror, Tusket, Vargast. It ain't there. Thank you, Caspian. Anyways, that was the Descent. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, I was afraid it was under history. And you're probably thinking, why are you afraid? Well, history is not alphabetized. Yeah, I was told that that was a much longer DLC, and I imagine it's because most people didn't do every single optional thing in the game and build a staff just for sundering. Oh, that's... The Titans are real. I knew it the moment I unearthed the ancient text. I'm sorry, hold on. I need to explain something really quick. Do you see this? This is me using my mouse wheel. Do you see this? This is me still using my mouse wheel. Why do I have to manually do this one with this? Okay, whatever. The Titans are real. I knew it the moment I unearthed that ancient text. Ren scoffed at the words I read. I couldn't blame him, even as I felt the truth settle on me like a warm cloak. Much of our history has been lost, and the wall of memories goes back only so far. That had to have been more of the story of our people, and I finally found one of those lost chapters. It's impossible to describe in words how truly vast a Titan is. The one I met is so large you can only glimpse parts of it. I had wandered inside its body for who knows how long without even realizing it. I've heard tales of dragons and giants on the surface, but the description of their size does not compare to the Titans. Its blood now flows through me, and its song fills the gaps in our history. I close my eyes and see glimpses of the world that was, before everything changed and the Dwarven race broke in two. Something caused the Titans to fall, probably the elves, and the fate of my people fell with them. The Titan wants me to know. No, more than that, it wants me to understand. There is a loneliness to its song. Okay. So, the 4 negatives. World building. What? Lyrium, Titan's blood. Retcons are not exactly... I guess it's actually not world building. It's actually external continuity. Let's put that under that. External continuity. Readdress that. Writing. We already talked about the scale. Big, huge. Oh my god. World affecting. Destroying the... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's the negative. MSQ. Why are we fighting the Guardian? Or like anything down there, except for the Darkspawn? Alright, whatever. And the final one. And this is technically an outro negative. It's the same negative I would give something like, say, Neon Genesis Evangelion. For just kind of being vaguely, weirdly, non-describably, confusingly, vaguely vague. It's actually the exact same negative I gave The Witch Hunt, for the same reason.
A mage divine. What's next? A dwarven king of Antiva? Still, if anybody can handle running the chantry, it's the Iron Lady. They won't even know what hit them. But yeah, if you want to go out and find some trouble, I'm up for it.
Yeah, you get it, Caspian. It's like, hey, here's a load of nonsense, which we're not even going to try to begin to describe or explain. Thanks for that. Look, I didn't choose this, Evo. Sunglasses pop out of my eye sockets. I didn't ask for this. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and start Trespasser, I guess. We're not going to finish it. There's no way.
Inquisitor.
I'm almost debating popping off earlier. I guess we've got another hour of my normal shift time. But, like, it's going to be weird, because Trespasser isn't that long. I don't know. What do you think? Should we chop off early, or should we stream late? I think those are the options here. Because there's plenty to talk about in Trespasser. Alright, I see the crowd. It's telling me that they hate me, that I suck, that I deserve to die. And all of these things are true. Yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and do that. Let me make sure the HUD is up to date. It should be. We're up to 107. Oh, we are not up to date. 107 story positives. 39 story negatives. 29 gameplay positives. And 101 gameplay negatives. And on that bombshell,